thank you to all of you. This might be the last Foreign Affairs Council I chaired. It would be the 50th. And all in all, foreign affairs, defense, cooperation, it's 122 councils. And I hope it's going to be the last one. Allow me a short reflection before we go to the discussion. I started my mandate 5 years ago. It was on the 9th of December. And on the agenda of the Foreign Affairs Council, on the agenda it was Russia and Ukraine, it was Middle East, and it was US. I'm talking 5 years ago. 5 years ago we discussed about Russia and Ukraine, not about the war, but the process with the Normandy format. Remember the Normandy format? Okay. We discussed about it. We discussed about Middle East, not about the war, but about the tensions, the growing tensions with Iran. And we discussed about the relationship with the Trump administration and with their cooperation, or if you prefer, with the lack of cooperation between the US administration and the European Union administration. And I remember at that time many leaders were saying, we have to take our destiny in our hands. It was in 2017. It sounds a little bit the same thing that today. We have to take our destiny in our hands. But it was 5 years ago. 5 years ago we spent most of our discussions on the same issues that we have been discussing today, in a different perspective, a completely different perspective. It was not a war in Ukraine, it was not a war in the Middle East, but we were talking about Ukraine and Middle East. So let the historians to draw the conclusions of these 5 years. I can only repeat one thing. We have to be more united if we want to speak the language of power. The sentence that I told to the members of the Parliament during my hearing, I think is still valid. If we want to be a geopolitical player, if we want to use the language of power, we have to be more united. More united, closer to our partners, and more realistic in our approach to the rest of the world. During these 5 years, I tried to do my best to overcome the blockages and paralysis in order to make the European Union able to react as quick as possible. It's certainly below my ambition. I think that we have to increase the efforts for more unity among the Europeans, among member states, and between member states and the European Union institutions. Now we are in a transition period, but the world doesn't stop. We are in a transition, we are doing hearings, we are nominating, but the world doesn't stop. By the contrary, it accelerates. And it goes in the bad direction. It goes quicker, but in the wrong direction. More and more the forces that challenges us require a quicker reaction from the European Union. Yes, the world goes in the bad direction. And the three poles of tension, let's call it Ukraine, Middle East, and South China Sea, the three geopolitical tensions articulated in these three places, increasingly goes in a direction that makes the new American administration an important, certainly that has always been an important actor, but this one in particular will be an important actor because there are a lot of question marks about how the new American administration will behave in these three poles of tension.